Okay, welcome to this video. I couldn't find anything on how to replace the AC compressor for a 2006 Honda Odyssey, and so that's what we're going to work on today. This is a 2006 3.5. Pretty I say it's straightforward, but it seems to be quite a project. So anyway, let's get started. Yeah, let's go. So I began by taking off the tire and looking down underneath here, and as you see, there's your main harmonic balancer. Here's your compressor. I had to get a crowbar, take off, loosen the hydraulic belt tensioner, and that way I could take the belt off. But here is your compressor. Looked underneath, you can see the bolts. There's two on the bottom, two on top, but even if you were able to get to those, there's no room to remove the compressor. So that means only one thing: the radiator must come out. And so that's what we have to start with now. So we've come back to the top of the van. You're going to start by taking off this plate. You can see the radiator underneath. You just take it by take these off by popping this up, and the little plugs come out. Be careful you don't lose them. They're not real expensive to buy. So anyway, I'm going to take all these off and then we'll come back. So I've taken off the top plate here. It's exposed the radiator. You can see the condenser for the AC as well. We're going to be changing that. I recommend taking off your grill. There's just 3 more little tabs down there. You can see 1, 2, 3. You can see that one in the middle there, and that's what we're looking at. So I'm going to take those 3 off and open it up, and then we're going to get it taking this radiator out. Okay, now I've taken off the front grill plate, and we are going to begin by taking these off. I believe these are just 10 millimeters. There's one on each side here, and so we're going to take those off. 10 millimeter as well. We're going to take off the hood hinge, the hood lock. So begin by doing that, and then we'll go around back and start taking off hoses. Okay, in taking out the radiator, I am also changing the condenser, which is recommended because whenever your compressor goes out, something might get loose in there, and any kind of junk is going to get caught in that, and there's no way to flush it out. And so if there is anything in there, then it comes out, it's going to ruin your compressor, and you got to do this all over again. So I went online, found one of these guys a whole lot cheaper than you could find it at the store. And so anyway, you take the brackets off, 10 millimeters on each side, and then over here, 10 millimeters, this thing comes off. Then there's a 10 millimeter bracket, and then down here, you just put an extension and you get a 10 millimeter as well. And then this thing just lifts on out just like that. So if you saw that I could take this off, it'd make it a whole lot easier. So I'm going to take that out, and then we're going to get started at the radiator. Okay, I've taken the condenser out, I've taken the radiator, and as you can see, there's a whole bunch of space. It's just the whole front end here. I'll let you figure out how to do the radiator. You're going to have your upper hose and your lower hose. Don't forget about your 2 transmission lines as well. And then, as you see, we're going to get down here. We have lots of space for our compressor. You're looking at, you got to take the hoses off. There's one here. This is 10 millimeter. Here's one. There's 10 millimeter, and those take off your hoses. And then you have 4 bolts that hold this baby on, and these are 12 millimeters. So you just take you loosen, take those out. You got your belt already taken off. Well, see, and then it'll come right out, and then you got to swap these things out for the plate. Make sure you check your oil and stuff. So, and then you put it all back together. So, okay, I have the compressor out, and here's my new one. You have to take off the plate, the cover plate that comes with it, a 10 millimeter, 4 bolts, 4 bolts. This one, however, you need to take this part off. And this is where I ran into trouble. I actually had to run up to the store because I didn't have one. These 2 little guys are 5.5 millimeters. Okay, everything's metric on a Honda, so 5.5 millimeters. You take those 2 things off, and then you take this guy off. Okay, and you're going to put it on there. So I recommend you not using the 5.5. The plate is held down with these bolts, these 10 millimeters. I recommend you using them on there, and forgetting the 5.5 millimeters. So there you make sure you put the oil in. I just pour oil into it until you see it filled up, and then there you go, or the standard amount that you should put in there. And I'm not really too sure how much oil to put in there, so we'll give it a guess. Alrighty. Okay, I was wrong. You cannot swap out these 5.5s because this plug won't fit back in there. So you have to use these 5.5 bolts. So you got to keep those, got it replaced. Also, the amount of oil. This one came with 3 ounces already in it, and this takes 6 to 6.5 ounces. So I'm gonna have to put about 3 to 3.5 ounces in there. Just pour it into the hole, and then you hook it up. Just don't turn it upside down or whatnot. So, all right, I got it switched. I'm gonna put the oil in it, and then we are gonna install this bad boy.